Hello, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to another superlative edition of Conversation with the Love Crusader. And it promises to be another exciting and informed edition today because we have a powerful couple in the house. Powerful couple. You know, when they say power couple, these ones are a power couple. And it takes a lot to drag this big elephant to bring this big elephant from the jungle this evening. I always say, share. You don't know who you'll be saving. One information shared here might be saving someone, might be saving a friend. So share with your friends. Invite them to come join the conversation this evening. We started talking about love and money last week, and we are continuing. Before we jump into the topic, let me introduce my guest. So I have Pastor Goodluck. I don't know, I call him Doctor, Pastor Dr. Goodluck. The titles that this man should have under normal circumstance, all things being equal, the titles should be very, very long.
Very long.
Before the name. And the beautiful thing about their name is good luck and blessing. I always jealous that. Imagine good luck with blessing. Okay, put together. Anyways. So, Pastor Goodluck Adagbasa is in the house with his delectable, beautiful, brilliant, don't be jealous, Uncle Goody, you know, I'm going to do it like that. Growing up, we used to call her BB. Beautiful, brilliant, blessing.
Wow, BBB.
And Pastor Blessing, yes, so that used to be her title. BBB, beautiful, brilliant, blessing. Pastor Blessing Adagbasa is here. And if you want to know why I'm grinning from ear to ear, Pastor Blessing Adagbasa is my immediate younger sister. So it's my sister and her husband in the house this evening, and I'm super excited. You want to say hello to the audience?
Hello, good evening, all. I'm glad to be in this program today. This has been long coming, and we've finally been able to make it today. So it's a pleasure joining you guys today this evening for this discourse.
Oh yes, you're welcome.
Pastor, good evening, everyone.
Yeah.
Yes, good evening, everyone. Great to connect today. I'm so proud of my big sis. It's an honor to be here on your platform, the Love Crusader. Thank you for inviting us. And thank everyone for being part of today's discussion.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much for coming. I know how busy these people are. You see, when I just say pastor and pastor, I don't want to go into too much, but Uncle Goody is a father. Is he a grandfather now? He acts in the capacity of grandfather sometimes.
We are getting there.
He's an uncle. He's a GM. I'll not tell you where. He's a GM. So you should know how busy he is. He's also a pastor. He's the head of media in his church. There's a whole lot that he's doing. And then you come to Pastor B. She's a mother. She is a teacher, a pastor. She is also a manager in her work, a manager at home. So these are very, very busy people, and it has taken quite a lot to bring them here. I'm happy that they are finally here with us today. And I know it's going to be an interesting discourse. Okay, someone that is also supposed to join us today is Reverend Oko Joseph, and he's joining the stream now finally. Hopefully there's a bit of noise. If you can use an earpiece, it will be better. Okay. Let's jump into the topic. We already started last week. We had some people here, and we tried to lay a foundation about love and money. So first of all, in that episode last week, one of them told us that love is intangible, and money is the tangible part of love. Uncle Goodluck, let's start from there. Do you agree?
That love is intangible, something that you cannot place your hands on, right? And money is the tangible part of that equation. That is a very, very interesting interesting way to look at it.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. Well, love. To my understanding, is a whole lot, right? And yes, money plays a role, but is it the tangible, just the tangible part? I don't think it goes beyond that, right? And by the grace of God, we'll be discussing, going a little bit deeper into both of them, love and money.
And money. Okay. Okay. So good luck say, well, it might be a tangible part, but it's just maybe a small part of the tangible part. We are going to know how. I'm going to talk, or we're going to talk more today about the married people, love in marriage, so to speak. Because next week I'm going to have some bachelors and spinsters here, and they're coming to tell us also about love and money in their own way. So today we'll talk more about the marriage relationship. But I want to first start. Is love a catalyst? Is money a catalyst for love? Any one of you can go.
Okay, so before I go, I'd like to acknowledge Pastor Joe, Reverend Joe, my big bro. I can see him. Actually, I'm not used to Reverend Joe, I'm used to Uncle Joe. Good to see you, bro.
Nice to see you both. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Uncle Joe, good to see you too.
I salute you, Uncle Goody. God bless you.
All right. So when you talk about catalyst, a catalyst is something that is not a part of a reaction, but facilitates, aids, makes it faster, better, makes it work well. So is love a catalyst? Is money a catalyst for love? I think to answer that question, we need to understand what love is based on scripture and based on our faith, right? Love is not a feeling. Love is not a feeling. You know those butterflies in the belly? That's not love. Love is deeper than that. Love is a commitment, a decision to make someone else the object of your affection, a decision to prioritize the needs of another, a decision to be there. The Bible talks about what love is: patience, kind, and all the other things are listed in 1 Corinthians. So love is a verb, it's an action word. It's not a feeling. It's not how you respond. No, love is a choice, a decision that drives your action. Now, if love is a decision, if love is a choice that you make, if love is an action, then we go back and say, what drives it? Because if it is money, then when there's no money, the love ends. If it is beauty, when the beauty fades, the love ends. I look at my wedding picture and I remember once upon a time, I was a slim girl with a flat tummy. People of God, the tummy is not flat anymore. I have tried exercise. I've tried many things. I'm still looking for the solution. If this man of God chose me because she had a flat tummy, guess what? Life has happened to the tummy. As much as we are trying our best, it's not quite like it used to be. So love cannot be based on things that come and go. Love cannot be driven by things that are not permanent, because it is a choice and a decision. And so for me, money is good. The Bible says money answereth, a lot of things, many things. Money is good, but money comes and goes. Beauty is good. Beauty comes and goes. The decision to love has to be based on something that is permanent. And so we go back to the foundation of it. Where did marriage start? Where did all this begin? Because if the catalyst for your love is anchored to a permanent source, then your love will transcend the ups and downs of life. So to answer that question, that was a very long-winded, long-winded response. Sorry, don't invite pastors.
Response.
That's so.
That's what happens when you invite pastors. Love, the catalyst of love. What fuels love? What preserves love? What sustains love has to be something that is eternal, that is permanent, that stands the test of time. And that thing is our faith, our connection to the source himself. The fact that you are loving someone because you're submitting and surrendering to the one who's permanent.
Okay, Pastor, I'm going to cut you. I'm sorry, I have to cut you because this my 1 hour used to run like 2 minutes when I'm enjoying a conversation, and I know that's what's going to happen to us very soon here now. And there's a whole lot that we need to talk about. So I understand and I agree totally with your philosophy about love, what love should be and how love should be. But let's come back to it. Is it not possible that something like poverty can kill love? For example, I love you. Oh, this lady loves this man. She's now married to him. She wants to live with him. They get to the house. If I heard of a story of recently I read on social media, this man pretended to be who he was not, borrowed a car, came to the house, married this girl. And the lady says since they got home now, no food, even food to eat. So she's crying out. She wants to leave the marriage. What do you say to that kind of situation? Will something like poverty not kill that love? Uncle Goody, we'll come to Reverend Okosun.
Okay, so what you just described now is something being founded on the wrong foundation, right? The lady that went into that marriage under false assumption, right? And the basis for her getting into that marriage, which she's calling love, was based on something else. Now she got in there and saw that what was described is not what she meant. Could that have been something else other than money? You understand? So if there is love, it might not be because it's money. It could be something else. It could be that what could that? It could be that she got into that home and found 3 other children that the man did not tell her about. Right? Yeah. So not necessarily because she got there and she cannot feed, and that is why the love has disappeared. I think what is going on there is a situation where her love for that guy was based on something that was false, right? That was false.
Okay, but let me give a follow-up question. Should the guy have made such false representation of himself?
No, he shouldn't. He shouldn't. Again, so that is why we will say when we say love is a decision, right? You decide to love. You get into that marriage, and what you're seeing is not what you had expected. But because you have made that decision to love, you will find a way to make it work. That is why you see some people get into a relationship, get in there, and some things that they had assumed, right, is not what they found in there. Because that decision had been made. That's why I say love is an action word. It's a verb, right? Because it has been made, you find a way. If that is not, then if you go into that situation and you find yourself going out of what you have termed love, I don't know if we can really call that love.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
let's back up. Let me back up my question with a research so that we can be able to divulge more about it. Last week, we were told that the second cause of divorce, second highest reason for divorce in the world is money, financial crisis in marriage. 60% I hear of divorces also in the world have money related issues. So if love is not supposed to be based on money, and money is not supposed to be in the equation, let's put it that way, why do we have this high rate of problem coming from finances?
So I can take that.
Joseph can start from there, and then we'll come to you, Pastor B.
Okay. Reverend Oko.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, you're muted.
Okay. Thank you so much. I looked at the research this afternoon, and I did see that, honestly, that money was second behind infidelity on the cases, on the reasons why there are problems in home and divorces and all of that. And in all honesty, the topic for today is very important. The reason from the questions that have been asked and the way both of you have answered has been very, very good. I must say that the reason why we have people being misled or somebody lying to someone, that's really bad to do. It's because we have people who have the hunger, the drive, they want to be in a good relation, in a good home, in a good marriage, in a comfortable home, well laid out place, and all of that. It's not a bad thing. The Bible says in Ecclesiastes 7 verse 12, it says that money is a defense. And I like the fact that money is a defense because it's needed for your upkeep, for your well-being, to take care of the woman. All of these things is good, but it should not be the reason why you're going into a marriage. Because if that is the reason why you want to get married, then somebody will lie to you. I've seen a situation where somebody borrowed a car to go marry, borrowed a suit, borrowed everything. Everything was made up until after the wedding, the reality played out. So the truth is that this generation where we are now, unfortunately, they are so deep neck into money. They want fashionable things. They want good lifestyle. Let's not take it out of context. Money is good though. We need all these things. But the truth is that if you don't come into a marriage for the sake of love and it's anchored on money, then like you rightly said, one day that money will finish. What now happens to the love? Now, in the research again, one of the things that is a major cause for financial divorce or divorce as a result of finances is because there's been what you call financial infidelity. And that's a very big problem. Financial infidelity is a very big problem. When we talk about infidelity, we think it's just when a partner goes to commit adultery with another person. That's not it. There's a whole lot of it. And so when the partner begins to maybe hide her income or his income, and they don't seem to work together, there's no compromise, there's no level playing field, one person seems to be overloaded and all of that, these problems will always be there. So we need to be mindful. The generation where we belong to need to be mindful and know what they want. If you want to get married out of love, marry out of love. If you want to get married out of money, make sure that money is always there, because it will never be there all the time. So for me, it's for us to know why we are getting into the marriage in the first place. So
sorry to cut you. Thank you. Sorry to cut you, Reverend. I'm going to say one thing before Bess respond now, because we keep talking about the money not being there. However, research has shown that even money being there is also a problem. That is plenty of money in some marriages destroy it.
So, we have billionaires. We have billionaires who have divorced. We all know them. We have billionaires. We have millionaires. The presence of too much money is also a problem. So the underlying factor here is money. We're talking about money. Whether too much or too little is a problem. So it's just our generation. It's the world we face now. It's social media. You see young people come on social media, they try to portray what they are not. And then you have people who are already in marriages, they have stories they hear from other people, maybe at work. My husband bought me this, we went on holiday. Some of these things are not true. But you come back home and you beat your husband and say, you're not able to be like other men. No, you have to accept whatever you have and manage your home the way it is. You are the one to make it the way it will be comfortable.
Okay, thank you, Reverend. Pastor B, can you respond? Can you respond, please, so that we can also run it through this question?
I think you're absolutely spot on, because I was going to read out a list of billionaires who are divorced. So if billionaires are getting divorced, then having money does not secure a marriage.
Yeah.
Exactly.
In the same vein, there are people who do not have enough money that are happy. There are other people who have more money or less that are happy. When you look at it back and forth, even the research that you're talking about, money issues do not necessarily refer to having or not having money. It has to do with how money is managed in a relationship. Again, goes back to the fundamentals of how the two of you connect, of the basis for your relationship in the first place, of the decision that you have made to love someone, to make them the object of your affection, and to place their priorities, to place them as a priority in your life. That's what drives everything else. So if it's about money, if being rich, if having money is, an indication for a happy marriage or for a lasting marriage, then there's enough evidence around us to prove that that's not the case. It's not the case. There are many unwealthy people, if I would say, relatively poorer people who are happy, who are joyful. And the same way, there are poor people who are unhappy. It's money in itself is just another dimension, another factor, that can play to what you really are. So
Exactly.
for me, if money doesn't drive love, money doesn't determine love, money doesn't make love better or worse. The people in the marriage and their principles is what drives the joy in that marriage.
Totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. And that's why we're going to come now to talk about how money is managed. Because the basis, truthfully, is that management of money in the marriage. I think that is where the problem, the root of the problem is. And but I still think, though, that having money and being a little comfortable can help love. At least you can plan dates. You can take the person out, you can buy gifts. If you can afford all those things, even if it's in your mind to be able to do it, you understand? There's a level of frustration in not being able to do some of those little things. It doesn't have to be a trip. It doesn't have to be, you understand what I mean? But once in a while, you take this person out, once in a while, you should be able to afford gifts. Once in a while, I'm not a man, but I know that even for a man who cannot provide for his home, it's frustrating for a man who cannot provide for his home. At that point in time, he might not be talking about love. He's already feeling, not adequate. And that inadequacy can affect the love in the marriage. Because maybe every little thing, especially if the woman is earning money, you are talking to me anyhow because you earn more than me, there's problem. Maybe something, it may be something that under normal circumstances they will both laugh about.
Yeah.
A normal joke that will now become, oh, because you earn money more than me. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So all of those policies are around it. However, let's come now to the question of how do we handle money in marriage? I put it down here to say, do we do joint account? Do we do family account? Do we run personal accounts? Should the man be the main bearer of responsibilities in a home if he has the income? Or should it be a man sharing responsibilities? You call your wife, you say, come, you are earning 5,000. Me, I'm earning 7,000. So me, I'll be buying water. You'll be buying electricity. What is, how should money be managed in a home? Oh, yeah. Uncle Goody, start with you. All three of us will talk. Uncle Goody,
Okay.
then Pastor
Okay,
Rebecca.
Let me start. We counsel young people, right, that are in the process of getting married, and this is something that comes up a lot. And one thing I tell them or will tell them is, there are no two homes that are the same, right? There are no two marriages that are exactly the same. The way my father ran his home most likely will be completely different from the way I will run mine. So having said that, when it comes to managing finance in the home, it has to be something that both parties will sit down and have a discussion. a lot of people get it wrong because they go into marriages with assumptions, right? Assume that, oh, this is how I want my home to be. The man might have a way of thinking, okay, this is how I want to run it. And the lady will have her way of thinking, this is how I want to run mine. So it is good that before we go into a union, right, marriage union, this discussion should be had, right? And there is no one solution to this. It depends on the family. It depends on the couple. What works best for them. What works best for us might not work for the next person, right? Because we are different. Individually, we are different. So I know this is a long roundabout way of answering this question. What I'm saying is that find what works best for you. What works for us, for example, we run, I don't even know what we call, I think ours is joint in the sense that completely joint. We do everything together, but that might not be what will work for the next person. I have a friend who in his house, they put money together in a particular purse. That is what is working for them, right? You have people that actually run one account. Everybody, whatever you put into that account, will spend from there, will do everything. So it depends on what works for you. And that is a discussion that needs to be had by the couple on how best to run their.
Okay, before Pastor B respond, what if we have a discussion and we agree that this is how we are going to run the account, but one person goes and does something entirely different? So, for example, I know a couple that started a joint account, and before you know what was happening, the man started spending money behind the woman. Money that both of you put together. You don't even tell the woman, because he wanted to give money to his people. He started giving the money to his people behind the woman, and this woman's sweat is part of that money. And that was what ended their joint account ship. Let me put it that way. So what can that kind of person do? Yes, I agree with you that we don't have a strict rule to say, okay, it must be like this. But if you've had that conversation, especially at the onset of marriage, because I don't know whether I should use the word deceptive. Looks like some people are quite deceptive when they come into this thing. They don't say exactly what they want. Then when you people have done this agreement, then the marriage has started. In between, somebody starts shifting pole. What happens?
Okay, so let me. Most likely, when starting out in that marriage, it was not deceit. People evolve with time, right? Individuals, as you grow old, things change, situations change, right? So at every point in time, when you get to that situation, that is when you should actually call for a discussion, right? Rather than you just say, keeping it, be the man or the woman. If it's the woman now that is feeling, oh, my husband is doing this, call for a discussion so that you guys can agree on a course to follow from that point on, right? Rather than allowing it be a distraction and something that will cause strife within the family. Have that discussion. We have said that we do joint. Have we had instances where we actually sat down and had serious discussion about it? Yes, we have. We have, right? So it is not that it will be smooth sailing all through. If a particular formula is not working, communicate. Sit down and say, guy, babe, this thing seems not to be working on. Rather than us having this kind of stress, why not us try a different method, right? That to me will help remove all the strife and the issues that couples face when it comes to finances. It is a major, I can tell you for free, it is a major problem in most families when it comes to finance, how to manage it. It's a major problem.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of courage, maturity to do a particular, especially when it comes to joints. It takes a lot. But that must not be this formula for everybody.
I agree 100%.
Yes,
so here's what I believe. And now I will talk to the ladies more perhaps. here's my personal belief and what I say all the time. I place my marriage above my money. I'll say that again. I place my marriage above my money, meaning I will rather lose my money than lose my marriage. And so it's a decision that you make. It's a mental state that you get to where you say, okay, I know that I'm taking a risk. And for many women, right, you feel, oh, I'm taking a risk if I put all my money on the table with my husband, especially in our own culture, in African setting, Nigeria. Yes, however, you need to decide for yourself what's more important, your marriage or your money. That was the first barrier I had to break. And I said to myself, I place my marriage above my money. Now, the second thing for me is there is a mindset, and it's a mindset amongst a lot of us women that says, my husband is to provide. Now, people even use scripture, even though there are other scriptures like the Proverb 31 woman, where we can see a woman who's industrious, who's bringing in a lot into the family purse. Many women believe that their husband should be the provider and that their role, if at all, is to, support a little bit if necessary. In fact, I have a colleague. I have a colleague who told me once that God forbids for her to train a man's children. And I looked at her and said, what do you mean, a man's children? Your own children. She said, God forbid for her to pay the school fees of her own children. That it is her husband's duty to pay the school fees. And then I asked her, you earn a good income. What do you do with your money? She said, well, I can take the children out. I can buy them some things. I can plan a vacation, but it is his duty to pay the school fees, to pay the rent, to feed the family, etc., etc. May I say to every woman, God gave you a brain. God gave you two hands. God gave you capacity to be productive. All of that thought around, oh, he must provide, he must do this, he must do that, and we put men under so much pressure. We need to pull away from that. The Bible even calls you a helper. What that means is he brings, you bring, the family is enriched, the family is blessed. So if you're in that mindset where you say, I am also I also have part of the responsibility for the finances of this family. It's not just his responsibility. Both of us, as a couple, as partners in this journey, are bringing resources to take care of our home, to build the kind of family that we want. If that's our mindset, then the conversation is a little easier. From that point, we can have a conversation around what formula works for us. Do we want to do a joint account? Do we want to contribute? Do we want to split responsibilities? For me, at that point, it's the mechanics of it, what works for both of you. But the fundamental principle that we both, two adults with brains and hands, are working together to improve the lot of the family. I think that's very important. The men, traditionally have been told that they are providers. So, they're already in that mindset. The ladies need to also get into that mindset. Your hands are working, your brain is working. Whatever God blesses you with, be part of the finance of your family.
Can I chip in something there?
Okay.
And okay, just a few words. And this one is speaking to the men, right? In a family, we men, I'm not saying women now, we men, right? There is this tendency to want to believe that as the head of the family, I am in charge and in control of everything, right? Including the finances.
Mm.
Even in situations where the woman or the wife is contributing significantly to the purse, right, in the home, the man will still want to be the one that is the head, right?
Controller.
So it is for us, the controller, yes. It is for us men to come to that realization that we are both contributing to this family. We are both contributing to this force, and we are owners or co-custodians of this particular family. What that means is I do not really have I'm not the alpha and the omega that I can do whatever I like and get away with it. No, you need as a man. And if you really want this to work, because what my wife just described now will only work if the man puts himself in that position where he can see himself as a partner in that family, as a partner. Be ready to be ready to take no from the other person, and you want to do something, and the person said, I don't think this is how we should do it.
Yeah.
And listen to superior arguments, right? And not that, oh, because I have said it, it must be so. No.
Exactly.
Yeah, I want to spend this money because I want to spend it must be so. So no. So women, we need to
this is a very balanced view. I like the way Pastor B has spoken to the women and Pastor Goody has spoken to the men. Let Reverend Oko tell us his own, then I will try to do a bit of conclusion on this matter of how we manage money.
Thank you, Pastor B and Uncle Goody. This is wow for me. Hearing both of you talk today, it's a very balanced one, I must say. You're just hitting the nail on the head. The truth is that, like you rightly said, it depends on person to person, family to family. For instance, what you just said now, Pastor B, is strange among so many women. Very strange. To see a woman who will say, I put my family, my money above my family. Wow, you must be an angel, I tell you. Because these things are hard to find. When you hear about most women, what you hear is my money, my own, my money, this and that. And that's where the problem is. A situation where the man, like Pastor Goody said, is under pressure. He's taking the expenses, the bulk of the money. He's spending money. He's groaning. Yet the woman has savings somewhere. The woman has money and is allowing the man to groan and die. And tomorrow it will look like the man is not having any savings. He's not able to do anything. Meanwhile, the bulk of the family load is on him. And this is the problem. And the thing we must also note is that statistically, the problem is that most women who do this have a certain background where they saw some of these things happening at home and out of fear now. They think every husband, every man is the same. And so the man, the husband that seems to be the one suffering maybe what had happened at home. So that is why you hear somebody like, this is mine, my own. When you are in marriage, there's nothing like my own. It should be our own. And we should also work to make sure we get these things sorted out and do things the way that people will see us, that we are working together, not as if we are working differently. And so it's a very, very good topic for young people and old people like us also, so that we understand how to balance this thing, because the password today is balancing. How do we balance it? How do we balance finances in the home? The woman brings, the man brings, like you said, there should be nobody controlling. There should be equal rights to the money. And to take you back a little, if maybe we have joint account and at any time any of the partner decides to use the money without the knowledge of that person, of the other partner, that's very wrong. If it's happened before, it's very, very wrong. There must be an agreement before such monies are used. Because if you don't do that, if you do that, it's stealing. It could even be a financial crime as far as I'm concerned. When you put your hand into money that belongs to everyone, but belongs to the family. So for me, this is a very good topic where people should learn that money should not be the in thing. Money shouldn't be number one. The love should be everything before money. It is true that money defends, but money cannot buy love. I've seen people who I had a colleague, sorry to say, he had money. He was following this lady with money. She didn't want. But she told her friend that because this man is following me up and I don't love him, but he has money, I want comfort. I want to be able to travel. I know, just live a good life. And then he went into the marriage. Just down, it wasn't up to 24 months after the marriage. The marriage collapsed. We all saw him. He had a very big business that was doing very well. The marriage collapsed. Now the woman had already had 3 children. She had, it was it triplets, something like that. So where is she going to go to? The same friends now came back to her and said, what are you now going to do? She said she can't go anywhere. She already has 3 children. So taking us back to the topic of today, we should know what we want in life. We should know why we are in that marriage. If the reason why we are in that marriage is based on money. The same money will destroy the marriage. It's just a matter of time.
Thank you so much, Reverend. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, drawing from what we are trying to find a balance for, you must also understand that if both parties are putting monies together, one person should not be undermining the contribution of the other. You know, Sarah Obayoje just posted that some men have the mentality that they are the sole provider. No matter what a woman does in the house, it's nothing. They never see it as nothing, you know. They always believe that they are the ones doing everything. And that will definitely discourage that person. Because if they are, like you have just said now, there are very few women. I have seen women who their husbands don't even know what they earn. In fact, one time I was lecturing some senior management students in South Africa. One of them said to me she had been promoted twice, and her husband did not know she had been promoted.
Wow.
And why?
Funny.
I said, why?
Wow.
He said, because. I said, why? He said, because if he knows that I have been promoted, he will know now I have more money, and he will reduce the money he's giving me for the house. Now, if we already have an agreement of the money that you're supposed to be giving in the house, should the woman's promotion really affect? We're laughing, but some men do it. If some men know that a woman have money, they will never have money again. Until that money in the woman's hand is finished. The day the one in the woman's hand is finished. Sorry, sir, let me finish.
Let me come
Sorry,
in
sir,
here.
let me finish. Let me balance. I'll give you opportunity to speak, sir. It is when the day the money in that woman's hand finished, that's the day they will have money again. They will never have. So when a woman, because, you know, we are talking about ideal situations here, but in most cases, these situations are not ideal. Let's face the fact. So a woman who has seen that, oh, okay, so this is how this man used to behave. Let me cuckoo hide the money. If he doesn't have money, he will continue to do what he's supposed to do. I know a guy that was not working. He was dating a lady, dated her for 1 year plus, didn't buy her even handkerchief. And the lady, out of love, married him. They got married 5 years into the marriage. He still didn't have a job. She was providing, she was doing everything in the house. 5 years, God now provided a job for this man. The very first salary he collected, he made a list of his mother, his sister in the village, he's this, he's that. He didn't bring 1 naira home.
Wow.
The second month, he repeated it. Then the woman came and was crying to me that she thought she's going to breathe a sigh of relief that God has answered her prayers. Now, see what bro is doing, you know. Say, my people have not done anything for them since that don't have job. Should that be the first thing? This woman who has been suffering with you since. You get what I'm saying? So that kind of woman now, when she now start hiding her money, they say, oh, women don't used to bring out their money. I'm not defending women, no. I'm just trying to paint a situation where we must both balance it and appreciate the effort that each person is bringing to the table. If you have decided it's a joint account, and a woman can give you all her money. Me, I cannot do it. I've not rich like that. Auntie B is very holy. I confess, I cannot do it. And I have my reasons, which I will not want to go and be saying here now. But I cannot do it. I cannot put all my money inside one account. I will not do more than not best. However, I know that I'm contributing my best in paying some of the bills in the house, providing meals sometimes when it's not there, even if I know that they give me feeding money, I still augment it, you know, carry some of the expenses of the house because, like you said, we are building the family together. So I think we should just generally work to find a balance, like both of you have said. I have one more question, and I have very few minutes to go. And I will talk about children. So some people believe, and I think this was the belief when we were also growing up, that giving money to children will spoil them. As we begin to grow up, we hear that giving money to children, we teach them money management. And then the third school of thought is giving money to children is a show of love. You know, it means I love my children. Where do we draw the balance in this? First of all, do you agree that we should give children money? Oh, yeah.
So what we say children, what age range are we looking at? Okay.
Children who are less than 18 living in your house now. When they are 18, they are now adults, Abi. We're talking of children from maybe, I don't know. The choice is, I think, open to any family as to what age they start training their kids. I heard of someone who said he's 5 years old, has a piggy bank. He gives his 5 years old allowance. They discuss on what the child puts in the savings, in the piggy bank. At the end of the year, they break it open and the child buys a present if he's able to save good money. So I don't know. What do you think?
Okay.
Is it proper, and at what age should it happen? Reverend, sorry, please let them respond first. Go on, Uncle Goody.
Oh, okay. Okay, I thought Uncle Joe wanted to say something.
Yeah, he'll come back.
Again, right? The families handle this differently. I will not say the way we are handling it is the ideal or is the best. People see it differently. However, because of the way we as a couple, what our principles are and the way we feel children should be trained when it comes to money management, we do not. I'm just giving you how we handle that. We do not expose our children to that kind of money that early.
Like an allowance. Take an allowance, weekly or monthly allowance.
Yes, we do not. And the reason being that, again, it is our philosophy. You know, money to us, and that's the way, is secondary, right? It's secondary to you developing yourself as a person, right? Money, it can be an enabler. It is not the primary thing. So we don't want our children to see money as the all in all in whatever they are doing. So as they are growing, they are not exposed. But as they as they grow gradually, they see the value of money. They see as they grow. At least we have a 17-year-old that will be turning 18 this year. A 13 that will be turning 14 in a few days, and a 10-year-old. So as they grow, we gradually introduce them to financial management. My 18-year-old, before now, does not really know the value of money, but now she's beginning to appreciate what money is. That money is a means to an end and not an end in itself.
Right? So not an end in itself.
Yes. Okay. So they give you money. You should know that this money has value, and the value is I can get value from this, and not just throw money at stuff. Yeah, it might be different for different families. I've seen families where, you talked about people having piggy bank, and at the end of the year they break it and use it for something. It just depends on the family.
So my thought on that is, first, giving money to children is not necessarily an expression of love. So, love at that, it varies depending on their age. For a 5-year-old, the language of love at that point is different from the language of love for a 10-year-old, a 15-year-old. That's why, the first question we asked was, what age are we looking at? I'm not going to start my little kid on giving them money, right? Because at that point, you don't even know the value of the money or how to manage it, or even if they're keeping it in a piggy bank, it's still not the same as when you understand what money is and how to use it. We save on their behalf. So there's savings in their names that they're not even aware of, right? But it's not in their hands. There will come a time when they will have access to the resources that they need. Right now, as they've grown through the years, their needs are met. My daughter was just telling me, I think it was just yesterday, Mommy, you only meet my needs, not my wants. And I said, you're learning a very important principle in life. That is not everything you want that you get. You have to prioritize and address your needs first. And she has no idea how joyful she made me, because that's not something I verbalized.
Yeah.
That's something she observed and, you know, reached a position on, that you meet your needs first. You know, and I'm so grateful that she speaks that. Now, as she grows older, it will come to a time when she will have, you know, an allowance, and she has to make those priorities, those decisions for herself. And hopefully, she has seen us model that behavior, and she can do the same. So I don't encourage you to give cash to young children. You can save the money for them. You can open accounts in their name. You can buy stock shares, whatever it is, invest in their name. And when they have come of age and they understand it, they can make good use of that resource.
Okay.
Okay.
Reverend Oko Joseph, you want to add? We have a few minutes to go.
Here in the UK, there's what you call the Go Henry card. The Go Henry card is for children and teenagers. Now, the essence of the Go Henry card is to gradually and steadily introduce the children to cash management. Now, what the parents do with the Go Henry card is that they give these children, no matter how old they are, maybe from 5, 6 years, give them this card, not cash. They load this maybe £10 or £20 in the Go Henry card, and the mother continues to monitor how that child uses that money, how he spends the money, what he buys, how he uses them. He cannot withdraw the money, but the mother can see from the statement and from the alert that comes to her phone how this money is used per time. The essence is to gradually introduce these children to how to spend money, how to use money. Because research also shows that if you don't introduce these children on time, they earn money and they think, oh, the best thing I do is to buy clothes, is to party, is to do things that will not, be beneficial to them. Some of these children whose parents have even given them this Go Henry card decide to use this as a point of savings and say, I'm going to leave this money until mommy gives me another money. I'm saving to get about £100 to do so and so. So I believe that it is good to gradually introduce them. Don't give them cash, but let them have a card and be able to monitor how they use this money. Because if the child is able to spend on the right thing, you know that this child can be prudent in spending. If not, you know how to withdraw those cards for them. So for me, I believe that gradual introduction of this to money, not really giving them cash as it were, but giving them something like the Go Henry card will help them learn how to manage money.
So you keep mentioning that mommy will give them money and mommy is seeing the expenses. The only mothers that monitor the card.
Yeah. I'm
no, just I want to know, don't daddies monitor the cards? Is it not possible that daddy is the one monitoring the card? And daddy is the one putting money in the card?
It's possible for daddies to also monitor those money. Okay. But from what I know, I'm talking from the perspective of what I know, that is the mother who has been monitoring these accounts. It's possible that in other homes is the father monitoring it. But when it comes to children, mothers have a go with it.
Let me say something. Yesterday, my daughter told me that mom, M-O-M, means maker of money.
Wow.
Correct.
So the mom that makes the money. Because everything say go to your mom.
Go to your mom. Mom means maker of money.
That's a smart definition. And because she has a mom that makes money, She
was trying to toast me to give her something. Don't worry.
They can really toast us, these children. Maybe we'll get a Go Henry card for my son and attach it to me so that I can monitor. I'm happy to monitor, but I'm not happy to put the money. The father will be putting the money, then I'll be monitoring.
I will monitor it. I wouldn't have the time, but you monitor it.
Thank you so much for your time this evening. My time is up. I wish, I always say that my 1 hour runs so fast when we're having fun here. Thank you for this conversation. I believe that our viewers have learned quite a lot today. We have said that money is good. Money answers all things. Money is necessary, but money is not the most important thing. So we should place our relationship above money. I think that's one thing we have learned here today. Place your relationship above money. If you are in a married relationship with someone, you're in a partnership with the person. Stick with the agreement. Uncle Goodluck said at the beginning, there is always that communication. Stick with whatever agreements you people have made as to how you want to run your home and how you want to run your finances, so that the blessings of God will make rich and not add sorrow. Because in some families, you discover that maybe they start together, the man had nothing, and then when the money start coming, you see a different man. Okay, sorry, I'm using man. But I'm talking about both men and women. Right? Both men and women. I'm talking the way God used to talk. When God is referring to man, he's talking to both man and woman. And it is clearly stated that it is not that money changed that person. It is that money has brought out the real person. So one of the questions I will be talking about with those who are not married next week is whether we should wait until that person has money so we can see the real person. Anyways, next week, we're going to be here with another set of interesting people, all bachelors and spinsters, and we're still talking about love and money. In the course of this conversation, there was something we kept saying, or they kept saying, I didn't say it because me, I'm still very young. They started talking like people say, this generation, me, I'm in this generation. So the people of this generation will come and say their own next week by the grace of God. Oh, I so much appreciate you for coming. Pastor Goody, Pastor B, God bless you. I know how busy you are, and I truly appreciate that you are here today. Thank you so much for this insightful conversation, well balanced. The men have learned something, the women have learned something. Money is good. Don't fold your hand. Don't fold your hand, whether you're a man or a woman. Work. This hand, God does not encourage laziness. Work, make the money, and make your family a priority. That's another thing we didn't talk about, because in Africa, extended relationship issue sometimes can bring problem. Okay, like I said, by time is up, how do we talk about it? When a man wants to take care of his extended relationship and his family, immediate family is suffering, not proper. Those are some of the dynamics that can mess things up. But like we have said, let's balance it up. Let's have communication. Let's talk about money. No one is in control. No one has a right. Uncle Goody said you should be ready to accept no. Both ways. Don't say no. What I have said is what must happen. Whether not the woman or the man. Don't say because you are the woman, you don't make it the most money. What you say is what must happen. I'm trying to just give us a bit of a summary. I have learned a lot, and I believe our viewers have learned a lot. Thank you for coming, Reverend Oko Joseph. Thank you so much, Reverend Goody. I don't add Reverend for the title now. And Pastor B.
The title keep growing. Okay.
Good to have you both.
I said it at the beginning that the title that you should have in front of your name is supposed to be very, very long. So I'm adding new one and new ones. My love to the children. God bless you. Thank you so much. And viewers, please keep a date with us next Sunday, God's grace. It will be 6 p.m. We'll be back here to talk again about love and money. God bless you all. Thank you so much. God bless.